In this video, you will find a series of exercises focused on reshaping data frames. As you go through this video, press pause after each question. Try to find a solution yourself, and then unpause the video when you think you have an answer. We will then demonstrate one possible solution to each of these questions. Let's begin. The first thing we need to do is install the Tidyverse package, if you haven't already done so, and then load it. For these exercises, we will be using the happy full data frame. Run all the code in the second chunk to load these data. After running this code, keep an eye on your console to see if R is asking you for some input. First, and before we reshape this data frame, let's consider this question. Do you think this data frame is wide or long? Pause the video and decide which one you think it is. Let's take a look at this data frame using the glimpse function. We see that we mostly have numeric variables, and given that these are all measurements, we could argue that they all belong to just a single column. Given that this version would have many more rows than happy full, I would say that this is a wide data frame. Next exercise. This question has multiple parts, so take the time to think carefully about what each part is asking you to do. First, select the following columns: country name, region, ladder score, healthy life expectancy, and generosity. Next, work out the mean of the three measurements for each country and call this variable mean. Finally, produce an output data frame that contains two columns: country name and mean. Arrange this data frame in ascending order of mean value. Pause the video and see if you can do all of this. After selecting the desired columns using the select function, we use pivot longer to turn this into a long data frame like this. We then group by on country name and work out the mean using summarize and arrange the mean in ascending order. Here's another way of doing the same thing using the row-wise and see-across functions. Take some time to compare these two approaches. This is another example of how the same thing can be done in different ways in R. Final exercise. Again, this has multiple steps. First, select the following columns: country name, region, ladder score, healthy life expectancy, and generosity. Plot a stacked bar graph of these three measurements for the countries Norway, India, and Thailand. Then, plot a grouped bar graph of these three measurements for the same three countries. Pause the video and give this a go. We first create a data frame called happy long using the pivot longer function, like this. We then make a stacked bar graph with geom call using this new data frame. And finally, we make a grouped bar graph by simply setting the position parameter in geom call to equal dodge. The default setting is stack. And that's all for this set of exercises. If you found any of this challenging or confusing, please watch or re-watch the video that describes how the pivot functions work.